Hello, this is Mrs. Brooks, and today we're going to be reading a story called Stone Soup. It's one of my favorite books, one of my favorite stories because it's about community. It's about people all coming together, helping each other out, sharing, caring for one another, and spending time together. And so during this time of pandemic with the coronavirus, this is an excellent book to show us how we should be living together, how we should be sharing and caring. And so I can relate this book to the people, the men and women who are helping to get the people who are sick in the hospital with the coronavirus, helping them to get well. The nurses, the doctors, the people who come draw their blood, the people who come clean their room, the people who fix their meals, who do their laundry, the people who keep the elevators working, everybody in the hospital, and the folks that work in the elder care, the work in the places where the elderly are being kept, in the rehab centers, those places, all of those people who are working, and those who are living in community, who are wearing their mask when they go out. I hope that you're wearing your mask when you go out, that your family is wearing their mask when they go out, and wearing their gloves and washing their hands. Everybody's doing their part to help community. Okay? So like I say, so this is the front of the book, and in the front of the book you have the title, which is Stone Soup, and then you have the name of the author, and if the illustrator is somebody else, their name's also on the front. So the author is the person who writes the book, and his name is John Muth. But John Muth also did the pictures. He's the illustrator. So he wrote the book, he's the author, and he's also the illustrator. On the back of the book, sometimes you have an explanation about the book. So there may be some additional information here, some other things they tell you about the book. And this is the side, the spine, which keeps the book together. Okay? So this is a Chinese folklore or story that has been retold by John Muth. It's called Stone Soup. Three monks. Monks are religious people, people who dedicate their lives to their religion. And so they study, they pray, they sing, they meditate, they fast. So their lives is about their religion. So you have priests that do that. You have nuns that do that. You have people like gurus that do that. So different religions, they're called different things in different religions. But in this religion, which is a Chinese religion, they're called monks. So three monks, Hawk, Lock, and Sue, traveled along a mountain road. They talked about whiskers, cat whiskers, the color of the sun, and giving. What makes one happy, Sue? Asked Hawk, the youngest monk. Old Sue, who was the wisest, said, let's find out. So here they are. Hawk, Lock, and Sue. Hawk, Lock, and Sue. And that's the mountain. Can you see it? That's a long mountain they've come down, right? So in Asia, in China specifically, you have these very high mountains. And so you can travel a long way coming through snow and weather in these mountains and not come across villages for a long time. The sound of the bell brought their gaze to the rooftops of a village below. What's a bell? A bell is an instrument that makes a noise. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Sometimes a church bell will ring bong, bong, bong. Sometimes you'll hear that. It tells the time. It lets people know, oh, it's 12 o'clock. Oh, It's time to go to church. It's a calling. So bells are used to call. They could not see from so high above that the village had been through many hard times. Famine, which means people are starving, floods, that means that water has just taken over the town, and war had made the villagers wary and untrusting of strangers. So when you go to war, you fight other people, and sometimes people get killed and they get injured, and they damage their homes, and people have to move. And people are very sad during war. The villagers, they had been even become suspicious of each other, of their neighbors. So here are Huck, Lock, and Sue looking down on the village. See, they're up here, and there's a village down there. So this village is up in the mountains, so it's high, so above the clouds. The villagers worked hard, but only for themselves. There was a farmer, a tea merchant, a seamstress, a doctor, a carpenter, and many others. But they had little to do with one another. See them there? They all have special skills and can offer up these skills and their gifts to other people, but they're not sharing. So what skills and talents do you have that you can share? Can you draw a picture for your mommy and give it to her? Can you give your little sister or brother a hug? Can you be that big sister or brother and take good care of them? When the monks reached the foot of the mountain, the villagers disappeared into their houses. No one came to the gates to greet them. And when the people saw them enter the village, they closed their windows tight. Close them tight. Who's that out there? We're scared. We don't know them. We can't trust them. Normally when somebody comes to your door, they knock, or ring the bell, ding dong, and you go and you say, hello, who is it? You go to greet them. But nobody went to greet them because they didn't want them there. The monks knocked on the door of the first house. There was no answer. Then the house went dark. People cut their lights off. Maybe go away. Let them go away. We don't want to be bothered with them. They knocked on the second door, and the same thing happened. Click! Close the curtains. We don't want them to see us in here. It happened again and again, from house to house. No one came. These people do not know happiness, they all agreed. But today, said Sue, his face bright as the moon, we will show them how to make stone soup. House to house, nobody coming. But there they are, Lock, Hawk, and Sue. This is Sue. We're going to show them how to make stone soup. Ooh. They gathered twigs, and twigs are little branches, and made a fire. They placed a small tin pot on top and filled it with water from the village well. So in this village, they don't have running water like you have at your house. If you live out in the country, you know what I'm talking about. You have a well where you get your water. So they went to the well and drew the water out. And so they're going to make stone soup. So they need twigs and they need branches. They gather those together so they can make a fire. They have a small tin pot. They put water in it. A brave little girl who who had been watching, came to them. "What are you doing?" she asked. "We're gathering twigs." "We're making a fire," said Hawk. "We are making stone soup, and we need 3 round, smooth stones," said Sue. So here they're gathering, right? You can see. There she is looking at them. What are they doing? Who are these people? Here she comes. "What are you doing?" "We're making stone soup. We need some stones." Or what, as we call them, rocks. So if you go outside your house, you'll see rocks sometimes out there. Or if you go to a park or down the street, you'll see them. They come in different sizes and shapes and colors. The little girl helped the monks look around the courtyard until they found just the right ones. Then they put them in the water to cook. "These stones will make excellent soup," said Sue. "But this very little small pot won't make much, I'm afraid." "My mother has a bigger pot," said the girl. So there are the stones. 1, 2, 3. And so they try to put the stones in it. Can those stones fit in that little pot? So the girl offered to help them out. She's being a person who wants to help community. She's going to ask her mom to borrow her bigger pot. The little girl ran home. As she started to take a pot, her mother asked her, "What are you doing?" "The 3 strangers are making soup from stones. They need our biggest pot." Said the girl's mom. "Stones are easy to come by. I'd like to learn how to do that." The monks poked the coals as the smoke drifted up. The neighbors peered out their windows. The fire and the large pot in the middle of the village was a true curiosity. What does curiosity mean? That people are just kind of wondering, what is that? Look, they're out there. They're in the middle of the village. What are they doing? They're looking out their windows now. What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? They've got this pot. What's in the pot? What's in the pot? One by one, the people of the village came out to see just what the stone soup was. Here she is rolling. That's a big old pot, too. She rolled that thing down there for them to look at. Yes. And look at the people. They're looking out their windows. Looking out their windows. What are they doing? Of course, old-style stone soup should be well seasoned with some salt and pepper, said Hawk. "This is true," said Lock, as he stirred the giant pot filled with water and stones. "But we have none." "I have some salt and pepper," said the scholar, his eyes big with curiosity. He disappeared and came back with salt and pepper and even some other spices. Sue took a taste. "The last time we had stone soup, this size and color, carrots made the broth very sweet." "Carrots?" said a woman from the back. "I may have a few carrots, but just a few." And off she ran. She returned with as many carrots as she could carry and dropped them in the pot. So there they are stirring it. The guy came back with the spices, and the spices are in there. And then she came back with the carrots. Carrots are great for soup. They make it taste sweet, and it's good for your eyes. Carrots help your vision. So eat lots and lots of carrots. Keep your eyes good. "Do you think it would be better with onions?" said Hawk. "Oh, yes. Maybe an onion would taste good," a farmer said. He hurried off. He returned in a moment with 5 big onions, and he dropped them in the bubbling soup. "Now that's a fine soup," he said. The villagers all nodded their heads as the smell was very agreeable. Ah, just smell. Breathe in. Yes, you can smell that soup. But if only we had some mushrooms, said Sue, rubbing his chin. Several villagers licked their lips. A few dashed away and returned with fresh mushrooms, noodles, pea pods, and cabbages. Love some cabbage. So they got some mushrooms, they got some noodles, they got some pea pods, which are peas, and cabbages. There's Sue, rubbing his chin. If only we had a little more. You see, people are beginning to help. Something magical began to happen among the villagers. As each person opened their heart to give, the next person gave even more. And as this happened, the soup grew richer and smelled more delicious. I imagine the emperor would suggest we add dumplings, said one villager. A bean curd, said another. What about cloud air and mung beans and yams? Cried one other. And taro root and winter melon and baby corn, cried other villagers. Garlic, ginger root, soy sauce, lily buds. I have some, people cried out. Off they ran, returning with all they could carry. The monks stirred the pot and it bubbled. How good it smelled. Smell that. How good it would taste. How giving the villagers had become. Look at that. Everybody's looking in the pot. And then look, everybody is doing their part to help make a good soup. Whatever you can bring. Whatever you have, it will help. Everybody can do something. Everybody can bring something, even if it's just themselves. At last, the soup was ready. The villagers gathered together. They brought rice and steamed buns. They brought lychee nuts and sweet cakes. They brought tea to drink and lit the lanterns. Everyone sat down to eat. They had not been together for a feast like this for as long as anyone could remember. Here we are. Community. All the tables and chairs are together. They're eating together as a group. Sharing together. Lit the candles. It's a festival. They're having a party. It's something about eating with other people that is just wonderful. It helps to build community. Everybody did their part. After the banquet, because that's what it turned into. And the banquet is when you have a lot of food and you have music and you have drinks and people sit together and they talk and laugh and enjoy each other's company. After the banquet, they told stories, they sang songs, and celebrated long into the night. Then they unlocked their doors and took the monks into their homes and gave them very comfortable places to sleep. So they're partying now. They're spending time together. They're enjoying each other's company. They're enjoying being in community. They're enjoying being with their neighbors. They're enjoying having fun together. They miss that, and the monks help them to bring that back. In the gentle spring morning, everyone gathered together near the willows to say farewell. Thank you for having us as your guests, said the monks. You have been most generous. Thank you, said the villagers. With the gifts you have given, we will always have plenty. You have shown us that sharing makes us all richer. And to think, said the monks, To be happy is as simple as making stone soup. They're the villagers. There they go. Wasn't that a great story? Great story about community, about sharing, about caring for other people, about spending time with people. So with your friends and your family and your sisters and your brothers, spend time with them. See if you guys can't make stone soup. You just get you a little pot, get you some water, get you some stones. If they're dirty, clean them, put them in the pot, pretend that you're making soup, and share it with your sister, your brother, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your foster parent. Share it with them, right? Okay, this is Mrs. Brooks signing off. Have a good day.